Don't say that, Mags. The emails with bunk assignments go out tonight. For all we know, you could be jinxing us. I shrug. The decision is probably already made, unless someone hacks the camp email address. Wait, we can do that? Nora asks. I snort at the thought. I'm not even allowed to have a cell phone yet, so I'm going with a no on that one. If it were as easy as that, I would have found a way to bump our names up the Camp Rising Star wait list that we've been on for 3 years before finally getting accepted this year. She shrugs. Tightrope practice? Heck yeah. Nora skips to the other side of the street so that we each have our own sidewalk as we pretend to walk our own tightrope along the curb. She holds her sundress up so that it doesn't get in the way. Not only is Nora Ann Whaley my very best friend, she's also talented like whoa and so fashionable that even middle schoolers and sometimes high schoolers compliment her when we're at the mall or the movies. She somehow coordinates her outfits to the bands on her braces and has a different pair of tennis shoes for every day of the week, possibly even the month. She always wears her curly dark brown hair in a French braid or down with a statement headband. Do you really think we'll be able to do real circus tricks by the end of the summer? Nora asks from the other side of Sweet Corn Lane. That's what the website says, I tell her. I wonder if my mom will let me order a few leotards. I don't want to show up to jazz and tap in regular gym clothes. I want to look like a professional. She nods as we both approach the end of the street. Dress for success. Sweet Corn Lane dead ends into our street, Plum Tree Drive. I peer down my end of the block, where Mom's and Dad's cars are both parked. That's weird. Dad is a horror novelist and works from home, but Mom is usually stuck in traffic on her way home from the hospital until almost dinner time. I'll call you after supper, Nora says as she turns down her side of the street. Okay, we need to start thinking about how we want to decorate our cabin, I call after her. I want to make a statement, and not the one my actual room makes, which is sometimes I go to bed in my school clothes so that I can sleep in a little bit and everything on my walls is hung up with tape because my mom won't let me put holes in the wall. She rubs her hands together with excitement. Oh, the possibilities! Maybe I can bring my Blackpink posters. I still have my playbills from Hamilton and Mean Girls that we could hang up too. Bye for now, Magpie. Bye for now, Nora Bear, I call back. As I walk past the first 3 houses on my end of our road, I cut across the street to my yard. We moved here the summer after first grade from the other side of town, so not only was I getting a new house, but also a new school and, if I was lucky, new friends. I spotted Nora, a girl my age and size with light brown skin, on moving day. She was outside with her older brothers, who were 11 and 13 at the time and hated that their mom always made them let Nora tag along. To be honest, I'm pretty sure Nora didn't like it either. She kept peeling off from them while they played basketball in the cul-de-sac and would ride her bike down to my end of the street. I remember my stomach fluttering every time she would ride past my house, make a loop, and then go back down the street. Surely if we lived this close to each other, we'd go to the same school, and if I could muster the courage to talk to her, I might just start my first day with a friend right off the bat. Before Nora, I'd never really had a friend, or at least a friend I could call my own. Every kid I hung out with before her was because my parents knew their parents, or because the whole class was invited to a birthday party. On moving day, Mom was directing the movers and telling them what rooms to put what furniture in when I finally walked out into the middle of the road and announced, "Did you know that some circus performers ride a bike with only one wheel? It's called a unicycle." Probably not the smoothest first line, but it didn't matter because Nora and I turned out to be the exact same kind of nerds. Her feet dropped to the ground as she steadied herself. "You've been to a circus before?" "Not one with animals," I clarified. Mom says they used to have animals, but that it was actually a pretty bad deal for them. "Was it fun?" "I'm sort of scared of clowns," she admitted. I nodded. The clowns were a little creepy, but mostly funny. Their costumes were actually kind of cool. "Do you want to see my souvenirs?" I asked. She called down to her brothers, who barely noticed that she was going inside with me, her new friend. And that was that. Friends. Eventually, friends turned into best friends.